What's going on, everybody? Solo Bear here to talk to you about a new game that came out. I think it was Thursday of last week. Let me check my calendar. I think it came out the 31st of January or the 1st of February, Thursday and Friday last week. And it is crazy. It plays like Megaman Zero. And me and my friends are very, very excited about it. Dragon Marked for Death is a 4-player co-op adventure where it is a mission-based game, like a Monster Hunter-esque or Hunting-esque game, if you will, where you go through the game in different spurts through different missions that have different difficulties as well. If you want to kind of like stay and grind and level up from a certain mission, it has different difficulties that add more experience, but playing with multiple characters. There are 4 classes: the witch, the shinobi, like assassin, the warrior, and the man, I forgot her name. The sword girl with the demon arm. I can't remember her name, but yes, 4-player co-op, 4 classes, and I expect them to have more classes in the future because they have DLC coming in, and it's gonna be crazy. So this is a video today that's kind of like just going over the game and just talking about like how it feels, how it plays, and basically our first iteration or second iteration of fighting a boss 4-player co-op style. So towards the end of the video, you'll start seeing us tackle the boss and each of us have a role, so on and so forth. The 4th character is the Empress. So the Empress is a character who uses short sword and her demonic arm, her dragon arm. So each character has some type of dragon blood effect or ability that they would have and they use for battle. So the character I'm using is the warrior, which is kind of the slow, tanky character who can have a lot of vitality, and that works in his favor, can block, can go into berserk, and can charge his abilities or charge his attack, in which he can do a slam that hits multiple times and does massive damage. You have the Empress, who is a second character that I'm personally interested in. Again, like I said before, short sword. Her ability for the dragon blood is her demonic arm, in which she can use to grapple and kind of latch on to certain objects to kind of traverse the map. And also she can use it as a sword that comes down like a heavy swing vertically. She can do that in the air or in the ground, and she can also have it come out a little bit quicker depending on what combos she does. And also she can shoot fire out of it, and if you hold down the button, the ability button, she will charge her arm and then it'll morph into like a gun cannon sort of ordeal, and she'll start blowing out a lot of fire through her demonic arm. So that is pretty crazy in my opinion, and that's why she was my second choice if I were to ever get bored of the warrior. Third character that I was most interested in was the witch. She has a lot of abilities. She can do a lot of spells, and the way you do it, you kind of play like, based off of what a friend of mine was explaining, the witch that you see on screen in this video. You got to play like a little mini game and match up which element you need, which level of the element, and then you have to power it up, and then you have to like match a few things. You have to do all of this while standing still. You can't kind of move around and do this. So there's like level 1 to, I'm guessing, like 4 or 5, maybe even more tiers, in which she can kind of charge up her abilities and change the variations and change how they work. She can heal the team, do a lot of DPS, things of that nature. She can even float over attacks or anything that might be unblockable or hard to dodge, which is pretty interesting. So she kind of has to do all these things, and then you have to play a mini game within the game to kind of do her abilities. And I thought that was pretty advanced. She might be the hardest character in the game to use because of that, and she's very glass cannon based. I mean, you can spec into vitality if you want to, but I don't think that would be more beneficial. To me, I would just go more damage and kind of just play the class in itself. But yeah, that was the third most interesting class, and each of these go into more depth, but we're just trying to cover just the basis of it, since it's just the introduction to the game and just covering just the overall. I hear that the creators of the game were the same people who did the Azure Gunvolt and Megaman Zero, and also a few others. The last character that I was referring to was the Shinobi, which is the assassin-ish type of character, where super fast, faster than all the other three characters. I'm not sure what the demonic ability is on that one. I would have to get back to you on a later video, but another one of my friends actually specializes in that. And when you play in a 4-player setting with the Shinobi, you can move faster than everyone else. So like if you're trying to get to we kind of have the strategy where if possible in the mission, we have the Shinobi run as quickly as possible to the end to get to the boss, to where we can kind of like speed run the mission, not in the sense of just speed running, but kind of getting geared up as quickly as possible by fighting a boss, getting the drops, etc. So we have the Shinobi run as quickly as possible to the end of the level, which doesn't show much in this video, but like I said before, just the introduction. And also in a team-based setting, the Shinobi will boost the meter gain of each class. So each class does have meter gain. You need meter to do a lot of things. Go berserk for the warrior and also block. Shoot the cannon of fire out with the Empress. Use your magic and other sort of ordeals with the mage. And also for the Shinobi, he has dash attacks and such other things that he can build up. So the reason why I brought all that up is because when the Shinobi attacks, it builds a lot, I think damage overall from the entire squad in any shape or form will generate meter. But since the Shinobi attacks so quickly, it seems to build the most meter outside of the witch, who can, once charged up and got the correct spell, can do tremendous damage and rack up a lot of damage on the boss or whatever she's targeting, and also feed the team more meter, which for me, my class, the warrior, I'd be able to block. So as long as I have meter, I can block various attacks. So the witch can stay still within my shield, within my bubble, to cast her magic, which will then give us more meter because she's doing more damage. And then that will kind of focus all the attention on us, where the Shinobi can do more damage on his end, giving more meter to the squad. And again, going through a continuous cycle of just meter gain and shields into shelter for the wizard and shelter for the Empress to do their most damaging abilities. And then the cycle just continues. The more opportunities you have for damage, the more opportunities we have for meter gain, the more opportunities the warrior has to block, the more opportunities for everyone to do damage. And that's the cycle that seems to be what's happening when you first play the game in a 4-player co-op adventure, 3 players or 2 players. In a single players, I did play a few missions on my own to kind of get the hang of it. It's pretty good on its own. It's as what you would expect with playing any of the other single player games that are just like this on your own, that aren't multiplayer. You just go through the level, you get to the end, or get your loot, get your accessories, get your weapons or what have you, and you basically can not really worry too much about your teammates and kind of do your own thing, in which you know any mistake is your mistake basically. So it's just like a regular single player game with like playing Mega Man X or Mega Man Zero, and just going through and understanding the level, learning the monsters, learning the bosses and everything. Aside from all of that, each character has a certain unique thing that they can do throughout the level. There may be levels that might have a certain large rock or something that can't be moved by the other 3 characters, but the warrior can do like a little shoulder charge, in which they can push or break that obstacle so everyone else can get through, and it will probably lead to something like another chest that leads to accessories, or a potion that can be used in a later mission, like monster steak or rice balls for health, things of that nature. Different buffs, different immunities to certain status ailments. The witch can float, so she can float to higher places and get to things that the Empress and the warrior can't get to. The Shinobi can kind of wall hop, so there'll be paths that the Shinobi can take that no one else can take, which makes it why, how I was saying before, you'll be able to traverse the level and get to the destination quicker than anyone else. They also can, if there's a wall, and I believe they can air dash. I don't know how what the trajectory of the air dashes are, but they can get to many places that the other three characters can get. The Shinobi I'm talking about as of right now. And lastly, the Empress, I was saying before, she can grapple onto certain pieces of the terrain in which she can kind of like swing. If like as if it was a vine, you should be able to swing anywhere that has that interactable environment piece that she can kind of latch on to certain environments in the terrain, which when she latches onto that, it kind of twists and turn. So there's these certain like lock ceilings with 2 locks on either side, and if she swings off of both locks, it kind of twists them, in which she can kind of unscrew, and at that point, either the Shinobi, the witch, or her, depending on what the scenario is, they can go up and get additional treasure that they wouldn't be able to get on their own. So when you play with multiple people, you have more opportunity for more drops in the game, more accessories, more equipment, more potions and consumables. So with that being said, that kind of brings us to, in my opinion, it brings us to the bosses and how that works. So each character has a role to do in the boss battle scenario. Like I was saying before, at one point in the video, you'll be seeing this. The warrior, like I said before, can block attacks. In this video, you'll probably see the ogre or orc more than likely. So the ogre abilities can be blocked no matter what he does in this certain situation. We've faced bosses that no matter what, you cannot block it. You have to avoid certain attacks. They're just unblockable, and they are dodgeable though, but unblockable, in which the squishy characters will have to move. And if you're in a difficulty that is higher than your level, you can get 1 or 2 shot if you're a squishy character. And I've gotten 1 shot before as a tank, but that was because I didn't have the vitality necessary. But once you spec into vitality, you'll be okay. So the warrior has to block certain attacks so that, again, like I was saying before, mage stand still, cast magic, Empress can stand still, charge her cannon up and do DPS damage. And the Shinobi can kind of do his own thing depending on how skillful the Shinobi is. So it's kind of skill based on the Shinobi's end, more so as far as reaction and just understanding how to move your character in tandem to the boss's attack so you don't get touched. But the Shinobi is very, very squishy, and getting touched once or twice can get you killed depending on the difficulty, like I was saying. But again, damage output gains meter gains more damage, more abilities, more DPS. It also gains my ability to use my shield. I block attacks, or the warrior blocks attacks. The warrior blocks almost everything, and then the cycle continues. Other characters can stand still, do more damage, and so on and so forth. So if there's anything you guys want me to cover, anything else that I may have not covered in this video, anything you want to see, if you want to see the other classes, just let me know in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys next time.
I didn't realize
we got it. I'm low. I have no fire. I have none. I have no blocking on that. Oh my god, I took mad damage. Alright, blocking next attack. Blocking next attack. Alright. I'm low on defense. I'm blocking. Alright, wait, I think I can block next attack, yo.
Oh,
just
shit.
Look at my meter. My meter
Oh, right, you got a meter I can see.
Yeah,
right.
You guys can,
yo, somebody get that orb.
Oh, I took that.
Yo, the juke on that rock.
Take that. Get the orb.
Get that fucking smash orb.
I tried.
Yes.
Got it. All right. Don't get cocky because he can still kill us.
Yeah, he can still fuck us up. But Tehran can block forever.
I can.
I can infinitely guard. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can block forever. Yeah. Yo, look at the presence of mind on cam. I'm just gonna sit here like this.
Oh yeah, that's an infinite heal. I can do some DPS.
Watch this shit run out. Dev, what you doing? You hit him. You better throw your kunai. There you go. I cannot believe.
Oh, that shit went behind him.
Oh, let me back up a little bit. My bad. This is some grindy mobile game shit right here.
Yes!
Oh my goodness.
Wow. I hope we get that on every boss fight.
took so much fucking work.
Alright, yeah. I have to look at his animations. I also have to see what's raising my meter because I'll have no meter and then all of a sudden I got like 90% meter gain or some shit.
Yeah,
that was
hitting
sweet.
restores my
Cool
shit.
as hell.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think I've ever played a game like this.
That's dope. Like you literally can stand in front and mitigate damage. Like
I mitigated all damage, like everything, as long as I have meter.
Like the dude couldn't even swing down. His fucking club bounced off. I'm like, oh, I guess he could block.
I
the
knew
rocks
it.
when
I
they
was like,
come up.
watch, I can't really do shit while we running around, but as soon as the boss come out, I'm the fucking backbone of the team.
Beyond essential.
you the backbone of the team, and I'm on the backbone of the team.